Black Tears Podcast, your host, Caesar in the building. With me, I got
Yo, it's Verteezy.
Mr. DJ Rose.
And we got a special guest with us.
MGH, I'm here in the flesh.
And this is a special episode. This is going to be a special. This is not episode 27. This is a special episode. Hey, Bert, what we got on the ticket today, man?
Hey, we're going to talk about old dudes and young dudes. We're going to have TNT. What's wrong with these hoes? And we're going to talk about child support.
Crazy. What we sipping on, though? That's one good question.
Got that Bombay.
That raspberry, blackberry.
That Casamigos, too.
You know, I'm sipping on Douce.
Douce for the what? Don't say it. You ain't got to say it. We'll say that for another time, though.
All right. So, everybody feeling all right?
Yeah, we feeling good, man.
Okay. Well, let's jump into it.
Let's go ahead and get it, Bert. All right, so let's get into it, man. There was a video of a black man talking about how such a problem with the community is just simple things like saying good morning to somebody. Have you ever been somewhere you seen another black guy, whether it's old or young, you just said good morning, hello. He look like he wants to hurt you, kill you, got a problem with you. Like, hey, what's up, nigga? Hey, good morning, bro. Hey.
Probably not to that extent, but people always like, especially black guys, like the mean mug and they try to act tougher than they are because they probably were molested as kids and liked it.
The fuck?
So
always got to take it there, bro.
Hey, there got to be some underhand issue because I'm just speaking to you and saying, "What's up, my brother?" and you getting mad. You must have some kind of issue with men or a good-looking man there. I don't know what it is. Did that happen to you, Verteezy?
So we had an episode where we talked about mentorship not so long ago. One of the reasons why a lot of older black men don't want to mentor younger black men is because of this right here. We have too many situations where you might try to tell someone something and then they have an attitude, they ready to fight you, and they take it personal. Now, to what you were saying, Rose, that does be the case sometimes. But also, if you look and you see a lot of black men who grow up in single-parent households, and if the father's not present and they don't grow with positive male role models, they're not used to constructive criticism from another black man. So that sometimes be part of the problem too.
Good morning is not constructive criticism.
That's like, hey, how you doing? What's up? Even males and females, just you say good morning to a female, it's like, hey, good morning, ma'am, or good morning, you know.
But when you say good morning to someone, I mean, that's kind of like you showing that you kind of care about someone's day. So that's another thing too. If you're not used to black male saying, hey, I hope you're doing well, or good morning, like you might take a good morning and be like, the fuck you mean good morning, man? You don't even know me. Why you speaking
like,
to me?
Nigga, it's a good morning.
That's just common human courtesy though. But you have a lot of black men who grow up not even understanding or knowing that too though.
So you just gotta walk around macho negro, macho. Oh, I'm so tough. You look at me wrong. I'm gonna do something. Man, what about you, man?
Well, I don't know where this was taking place at, but I will say this: up north, they got a mind your business mindset. So, you know, everybody's moving really quick. Nobody's really stopping to ask how you doing, good morning. So it could have been up north and it could have been a bad day. So he had been turned off by that.
But I mean, even if it was down south, whether West Coast, East Coast, it was in New York City on the train. Brother was like, older brother had to be like 50, 60 some years old. He just said, yo, what's up? Hey, good morning, my brother. But he chose to de-escalate the situation. He just gonna look at the nigga. It was basically like a Boondock scene. Nigga looked at him and said, nigga moment, good morning, nigga. What you mean, good morning, nigga? What you mean?
Well, that makes a lot of sense then. If it happened in New York, that's probably what it was. They don't Southern hospitality doesn't exist up there.
So it ain't a thing. I mean, it works regardless though. But I mean, that is a problem, is why are we so angry against our own people? Like, we're all black. Most of us have the same struggles. Not everybody, but we got a common theme with struggles being black in America. So it's like, why are you going to try to make it worse? And it goes into the same conversations like, hey, you'll kill another nigga, but you won't kill anybody else. So, I mean, that's the way I look at it.
I mean, sometimes, you know, a lot of black people, especially black men, they don't even know why they're angry, to be honest, man. So a lot of times when we having these discussions and you seeing stuff where one black man got into another black man, like they don't even know why they mad, and
They know why they mad.
like what Rose was saying,
They know why they mad.
Some of them don't even know that they hate themselves, man. And because they hate themselves, they project that energy on other people. So yeah, man, you saying good morning or just saying hey, how you doing? Like when you talking to a brother that probably already hate himself being black, and he see you, like he ready to fight.
That's one of the problems with the community. Is like if you don't love yourself, you don't love nobody else. You don't care about the things going on around you, or the people are going around you. You don't care about the block. You'll sell to your neighbors. You'll sell to your friends. You'll sell to your family. So it's like that's one of the big issues. But it's like something as simple as good morning. That's a problem. That's a big
Yeah, he might have been on dope, so you never know.
Yeah, New York City trains, you never know, man.
So
Hey, bro, motherfuckers gay, motherfuckers on dope. It's all kind of reasons, Rose.
yeah, it's because it ain't normal. So you got to be something wrong with you.
Well, on that same track, dude could have been mentally disturbed. So if
Exactly.
he had mental illness problems, good morning could have been, I hate you, I'll kill your mother. It could have been anything. He could have just
family.
been,
I kill your family.
he could have been taken by storm or anything.
I will say it was funny in the video when the older black man asked the younger black man, "Man, how does me acknowledging your existence, how does that disturb you?" And he described how the younger black dude just stood there, paused, looked dumbfounded, and then was like, "Man, fuck you," and walked off. Hey, man, sometimes when you ask someone why they mad and tell me why you're mad, and that's a mind fuck to some people, man. That's a mind fuck to some people.
Rather than actually explain what's going on, like, hey man, I got a fucked up day, or this is wrong, my baby mama kicked me out, and this and that, people want to simply go to. Nah, man, you know, F you, do whatever you do, man. But anybody got anything else on that?
Well, you know, you mentioned it earlier, a nigga moment. So what kills a nigga moment?
Intelligence.
Police?
That too.
But peace. Peace kills a nigga moment.
Peace and intelligence. No,
There you go.
Yeah, we gonna move on to the. Anybody got anything else, man?
No, let's
we
jump right into
Let's go
it.
and blow it up. Let's go and blow it up.
Oh, Bert, let's go ahead and get these TNTs. Let me get that dynamite, man.
Yeah, TNT Dynamite, boom! Cheers or no cheers? What we got up?
Man, the first topic of the day, man. You know, for those who grew up in the 90s, Pee Wee Herman passed away this week, man. Rest in peace. Hey, MGH, man. Tears or no tears for the icon Pee Wee Herman.
Well, should always be tears when somebody passes on, but I didn't know him, so that's all I got on that.
Man, tears for that man, man. He was, had a couple movies, a TV show. Pee Wee Herman was one of my favorites in the 90s. And this is a man who got canceled before cancel was being a term. And this was on his private time. So we talking about, you see a childhood icon going to strip club and he gets canceled for that. So that's, he was one of the first people to get canceled for that shit behind him. But rest in peace, man.
Yeah, and I got tears, man, because if you grew up in the 90s, man, and you watched TV in the 90s, Pee Wee Herman, man, he had TV shows, like you were saying, movies, man. I mean, hey, I know him for, besides the dance and the laugh, man, he was one of the first people I saw that created all these contraptions and shit just to butter your motherfucking toast.
Yeah, I ain't got no tears from Mr. Jackoff in the movie theater Herman. So anybody else got any tears for him? Cause I ain't got no tears for him.
Man, rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman, man.
Hey, man. So some of y'all might have heard about a young man named Kevin O'Taker who was in New York at a gas station and got into it with another group of black men. That group confronted them because, him and his friends was dancing. He was known for dancing and stuff. They was dancing in the gas station parking lot, I guess as they were pumping their gas. And as they got into the altercation and the fight, Kevin ended up getting stabbed and he passed away. There are a lot of people in New York that's calling for a hate crime because they feel like he was targeted because he's part of the alphabet community. Any thoughts on this, Steve's?
Man, it's really
Tears or no tears?
No tears. Really, why I want to say no tears is you've seen the store owner trying to de-escalate the situation. Whether or not he could have said whatever. Let's say it is a hate crime. The dude wanted to start fighting him because he was, alphabet crew, whatever. you're already in an argument. Just go about your business, man. Pump your gas. People are crazy nowadays. You can't sit in the streets and just argue with just anybody. So it's really no tears, man. It's just another story of adding to violence in the streets, man. But no tears, man.
Man, I got tears, man, because we was talking about nigga moments earlier. A simple altercation and argument should not lead to someone dying. Like, we fighting or whatever, you get the better of me, I get the better of you. Like, we just see that too much. Motherfuckers pulling like guns and knives and shit. Okay, that gay dude beat your ass. Take your L, homie. Like, hey, I work in the prison. I see gay people beat straight people all the time, man. It happens, man. Just be happy that he ain't flip you over and take advantage of you, man. You got your ass beat, man. You didn't have to stab that man, though.
MGAs, tears or no tears?
Like I said earlier, I got tears anytime somebody lose their life, unless, they were just a vile individual. But you can always choose not to fight. So that's all I got to say on that one.
Jose?
Yeah, I got tears for Buddy. Because the only thing he was doing was voguing. I got to look that up because from what I know what voguing was, it's like when you put the picture in frame, picture frame.
The whole 90s.
Yeah, so that's all they were doing. And then the teenagers came up there and wanted to mind their business. See, that's what's wrong now. A lot of the young folks, the teenagers and things like that, they don't know how to pay attention in class. They don't know how to mind their own business. And they always trying up to no good. So if they would have been doing what they're supposed to be doing, he probably would still be alive because he wasn't causing no harm to nobody. So yeah, I got cheers for him.
Hey y'all, speaking of nigga moments, man, I think this is a cracker moment. So Chattanooga,
You think it's white folks?
Yeah, I think it's white folks.
Oh, it's definitely white folks. White tea folks. Definitely white tea folks.
Chattanooga released a T-shirt, and their mascot is called the Lookouts, by the way. On the T-shirt, it spells, Nuka, like Chattanooga for short, and they use eyeballs for the O's. And it really looks like they on some pinky shit. Merry Christmas, Nooker. So, MGH, man. Tears and no tears for Chattanooga.
I got tears that these white folks still doing stuff like that in America today. Not surprised, but I do have tears. Somebody in HR or marketing should have known that shirt didn't look right and not put that out to the public.
And for me, man, if it hadn't been in the South, I would have looked at it sideways and been like, all right, maybe they didn't know. We talking about Tennessee, man. Home of the KKK, so this is where this shit started at. So that says a lot. But looking at the regular logo, you see Chattanooga with the eyes, it doesn't look like that. When they shortened it and had Nooga, it definitely looked like some racist shit.
And it was great because y'all saying it's the marketing team at Chattanooga, but these was Nike shirts and everything too, though. so it went from Chattanooga to Nike, and Nike okayed it too. So it's like, what's really going on? They didn't think no nothing over it too, and I thought there was some black folks up there at Nike. Oh, unless they all like Jordan. Sellouts.
I will say this, when white people complain about affirmative action, see, this is why you need black people in all jobs. Because some black person, not a sellout black person, but a real black person should have saw that T-shirt and be like, come on now. Y'all playing with me, bro. Y'all playing, man. Get that shit out of here now. So, I got tears, man, but they tried it, man. But speaking of racism, AC's break down this next topic.
Hey, so basically it was a black man in Canada. Canada of all places. We're talking about one of the most, on paper or in the media, liberal places. It was a black man, light-skinned black man that worked for the public sector in Ontario's province. It's like basically like a state. So he basically got blackballed and fired because he was speaking out against anti-black race or, workplace discrimination against black people. And then he went through the whole set. He got fired from his job, ended up losing his house, barred from working in the public sector. So it's like, it just speaks to it. It's like, we're talking about a place like Canada, of all places. This is supposed to be, one of the most open, liberal type of places in in the modern day age. So it's like, it's tears for that, man. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, I got tears for it. I didn't really follow the story too much. I looked at it a little bit, but yeah, I got tears for him because he lost his job and his well-being and his need to feed his family or whatever. But that's all I got to say on it.
Hey, I'm gonna be real, man. See, this is the danger about being black in America, man. James Baldwin said it best, man. To be black and conscious in America is to be in a constant state of rage. Because
Canada.
because at the end of the day, you could know I'm not getting this job because I'm black, even though I'm better than this person who got the job. You can know that people are talking behind your back because you black. You can know that you might have got a write-up because you was black. But you was not supposed to acknowledge it. The minute that you acknowledge the racism going on in the work field, see, that's when the white person will come and say, "Gotcha, nigga." And that's what happened here. And that's the sad part. Because he was basically saw he got passed up for promotion time and time again. Was sitting down with his coworkers, realized all his coworkers got passed up for promotions was black. He brought his concerns and grievances to his bosses. His bosses then was like, "Oh, we're gonna promote all of y'all." He was like, "But shit was still racist." And they was like, "Well, damn, nigga, you ain't happy?" And they said, "Man, hey, we gotta let this nigga go, man. Cause he ain't a sheep like the other, and that's the problem."
Now, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have had no tears for him.
So it was basically like, hey, we gave you the job. You can shut the hell up and just shut up. Get the job. You got the job. Shut the hell up. So it's like, do you speak out or do you make it? They make an example of it.
Oh no, if you want your job, bro, and you black in America, or in this case Canada, man, shut the
Black
fuck up.
America.
Shut the fuck up.
We're just chopping up to that. Black
MGH.
America.
That's why you don't want to work for people. Have your own.
Yeah,
We always talk about that.
Yeah, like DJ Rose just said, if you working for somebody, unless you really don't care about that job, some things you can't speak up on. Can't speak up on race, politics, or religion, none of that stuff in the workplace. So,
And we're talking about a public sector job. So it's like you talk about, you sit there and talk about diversity, DEI, diversity, inclusion, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's like the new term. During the pandemic, everybody wanted to hire a black woman. That was the number one hires for DEIs. Anything diverse, they hired a black woman. It was a black woman they hired. Then after the pandemic happened, guess what? Shuttered the section or the sector of the department, fired them, and then either outsourced or they hired somebody else. They downsized the whole office. But it's like, hey, it goes back to the last episode. This is why we need affirmative action, because of shit like this. This is a prime example why we need affirmative action, because we're not in these spaces. Even when we're in these spaces, it's still giving us bullshit.
Hey man, Chris Rock had a stand up bit, man. The real smart slaves, they wasn't just smart. They were smart to hide the fact they were smart. So sometimes, man, you got to see the bullshit and be like, you know what? I'm going to take this promotion and move on, man. I got tears for him, man, but at the end of the day, man, hey, it's still America, it's still Canada, white people still running this shit, and you got to know when to fold it and know when to hold them. Man, hey, speaking of discrimination and people speaking up and being the only plus size person at the table, man. Damn, Lizzo. All that body positivity and knowing that nobody even really was trying to fuck your fat ass respectfully.
Somebody was apparently. I don't know.
If RZA didn't have all that money, if RZA didn't have all that money, y'all would be trying to fuck that fat bitch respectfully.
Nah, they would.
But it's cool.
You could have had a bad bitch.
If she would have lost like 500 pounds. But anyway, though, how Lizzo going to basically tell another girl you fat, then tell another girl, what was it like? Eat a banana out of
No, she pushed somebody over so she could eat the banana out.
Oh, so she eat the banana out of another whole coochie or whatever?
Yeah.
And she made her work 12 hours straight and made one girl pee on herself? Damn, Lizzo. Damn, Lizzo, you fat.
I ain't got no tears for that bitch, man. I really don't like her, but it is what it is. No tears. You talking all that bullshit about you discriminated against, and you sitting there doing it to other people. No tears.
Yeah, I ain't got no tears, but the situation is it's kind of funny and fishy because she's always saying things about, I can't wear this, and people are saying stuff about me. But really ain't nobody saying nothing about you, just reading what dumb people are saying, because nobody really cares what you look like as long as you make good music. So as long as you make good music, you can be as big as you want, as fat as you want, as skinny as you want, as white as you want, as black as you want. But you gotta keep pushing them hits. If you ain't pushing them hits, then we gotta quit. MGH, tears or no tears.
I ain't got tears for Lizzo. I got tears for her workers. And all I got to say on that is, if you big, you can't then have double standards and fire somebody because they big. That's all I got on that.
Hey, man, what I always say, man, ain't nothing worse than what?
A hypocrite.
A fat, ugly bitch. And Lizzo is not only fat, but this incident shows that she's ugly.
What do I always say?
To the bone.
On the inside.
On the inside.
Man, that bitch don't look that cute either. Y'all can cap and say y'all fuck that bitch. But now that bitch fat.
Who said that? Who the fuck said that?
Speak for yourself.
But
I'm a married man, so
man,
good.
Hey man, I got a question, man. What's wrong with these hoes?
What the fuck is wrong with them? What's wrong with them?
What's there's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a hoe.
It's a hoe. So your favorite hoe, Suka Ani,
Suki, huh?
came out. Man, I don't give a fuck about that bitch name. I don't give a fuck about her name.
Suck us off.
Your favorite hoe came out and said that every woman has sold a little bit of pussy. What's that great 8-ball MG line? That we all sold dope, we all did coke, we all did a little bit of coke, and she said all y'all women have sold a little bit of pussy. See, what you think?
Suki, what the fuck are you doing or talking about? This is one of those situations. It's like, I don't like stereotypes and I don't like generalizations because it's like, so you're going to say, so everybody in the world, 6-7 billion people in the world, everybody does it just because you and your friends and everybody you know is a hoe doesn't mean the rest of the world is a hoe. But I mean, it's neither here or there. Apparently it's here. You's a hoe and you just want to justify everybody else, you and everybody else being a hoe. Rose, what you got, man?
I don't know, man. I'm from Memphis. Well, making easy money, putting hoes is serious. So I ain't gonna say every hoe done sold it, but a lot of them have, and the ones that say they haven't, they probably did for a little bit of change. It did some change, but she can't say. I don't know why she said everyone because she doesn't know everyone. There are plenty of women that have never even thought about doing that, and there's plenty of women that have thought about doing it but didn't do it. So how you gonna say everybody or every woman had just because you did it since you was a teenager doesn't mean everybody else thinks like you. Just like you said, oh, I'm so shy and things like this, and that's why I drink so much and all this. And then when the dude came out there and arrest you and kiss you on the face, you a victim. So now everybody that you just called a hoe, just like you, now they victims. So how you think all of them feel?
And it
MGH, cheers to no tears for what's wrong with them. Oh, we ain't even on tears no more.
I mean, hey, it's the thing with the show. Don't go with it.
I got an MGH.
No tears.
Hey man, I'm gonna go the opposite way, man. I don't think she meant all. I think she just really meant most.
Question real quick. Did she say women or did she say hoes? All hoes said a little bit?
She was saying women.
She said women.
But I think she
That's
meant
two different
most.
subjects. Two different statements. If she would have just said all hoes done sold some pussy, we know that. That's a fact. All women, that's a whole other thing, like you said, Rose.
Yeah, I think she meant most, man. And because I think she meant most, because to say all or something is asinine.
And you can't even say most.
So because she said most, I'm gonna keep it real. I think most women have sold some pussy. Even if it's been to the nigga down the street for like, hey man, back to school coming. I done had a couple of y'all hit me up talking about, hey man, my kid needs book bags, some school supplies, the glue, coloring crayons, all kind of shit. He want the big pack. He want the big pack of crayons. My baby need Jordans. My baby need Jordans. Hey man, even if I don't fuck you before, if you hit me up and say I need $50 because Day going back to school, bitch, you selling pussy.
So set it off. Set it off. This was Jada Pinkett. Yeah, Jada Pinkett set it off.
Jada Pinkett sold that pussy. She sold that. She like that. Another time.
Buying Martini.
And let me tell you, and that's what I like to buy. When they sell it low, that's when you buy. That's real estate. Real estate and stock. We talking about wholesaling that pussy.
Oh, you talking about stocking?
The best times to buy pussy, y'all, is Christmas, Thanksgiving, back to school, when it's Mother's Day, her birthday.
Where do you get coupons from?
That's what she needed. That's what she needed money the most. Now let me tell you the worst time to buy pussy. Tax season.
Tax season.
When them taxes come back, don't you even think about buying no pussy. That shit, they don't need you. They won't call you back, right? See, that $40 pussy gonna be worth $300. But guess what? When Christmas rolls around and her kids need clothes, she gonna be back still in the fourth quarter. Hey, how's the meeting go? How's the meeting go?
Hey, it's Friday. I ain't got no job. I'm on my shit.
How's the meeting go? I knew you would be back here, Thanos.
So
I knew you would
I'm gonna
be
keep it
back
real.
What's it going for the 40?
Hey, most of these women have sold pussy at some point in time. So Sukiana, I salute you because you just telling the truth. Even if you didn't get it one time, you gonna get to let a nigga slide in there because you needed, maybe you needed your rent paid. I ain't mad at you. What you say, C's? You use what you had to get what you need.
Black power.
All I'm gonna say on that is, I don't think all or most women have done it or do it, but I will say, I think majority of single mothers do, and that's what Levert was talking about. Like he said, single mothers, when they need it, they know what they got, they're gonna get it.
I just want to make the distinction between a hoe and a woman.
Talking about, don't put words in my mouth. I said women. I ain't gonna disrespect single mothers by saying single mothers. Now, it's some women out here that's married that done fuck that ugly ass nigga at Yale to try to get their kid in for admission. These white women be doing that shit. Black women ain't gonna do no shit like that. They ain't finna fuck to get their kid at, school. But y'all saw Forrest Gump. How much you love your son?
If I'm not mistaken, that same thing happened on SVU. My wife loved that show.
See, yeah, it happened on SVU, man. Hey, I'm telling you.
Most of those series show SUV are from real stories.
Hey, women out here selling pussy to get what they need, y'all.
But
So,
most?
Yes, most. But talk to one of your homegirls, your sisters, your cousins. A nigga in proposition though, multiple times. And
that don't mean they took the bait.
Hold up. But it's only so many times a woman gonna say no, especially when she get in a situation where she need it. And it's like, bro, I kind of want to fuck that nigga anyway. If I can get a nut and some money,
So they just out here trying niggas out.
I like that, a nut and a buck.
So they trying niggas out just for some dollars. They like, well, I wanted to try them out anyway, and I'm gonna get something out of it, so I might as well do it.
Bruh, if a woman came to you and you kind of wanted to hit, and she was like, hey, I'll give you $40, they ain't talking about me though. I'm just saying, like, if you kind of already want to hit, and you need some money, you might just say, hey, man, throw me a couple dollars.
Hey, let's keep it real. Most men that ain't got it like that would take it from a woman for a chicken sandwich, let alone $40.
Facts.
You say $40, $88. I need my nails. She say, oh, I need my nails did and I need my hair done. That's gonna run you back.
I'm just saying, see,
$250.
Don't make it seem like it's that toothless crackhead that's trying to pay for pussy.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about
that dope boy.
I'm talking about that bad bitch.
They got that dope boy dick. That's got them Air Force Jordans on or whatever. Got that clean haircut. Got the dirty chains on. Got the perky dick. That perk dick, that coked up dick and all that. And I'm just saying, a bitch might be like, shit, I kind of already want to fuck that nigga anyway. But you know what? I need $50 for my cell phone. So let me see if I can get this nigga. And boom, that's like.
So where's the?
Let me ask you a question, C's. When the pandemic hit, it was a lot of average women to start on OnlyFans. So you think them same women that was quick to start on OnlyFans, these average women, when the pandemic hit, you don't think they were selling pussy during the pandemic?
They just went. They just went digital. They went digital.
That's all I'm saying. Like you don't think a bitch who basically could not work and was basically trying to figure out how to feed her.
So basically, what you're saying is a lot of women let their inner hoe out.
That hoe in every woman, now it's in every woman. It's just how much is it in that woman?
Like I said, have you ever seen the UFO?
Nah.
Yeah.
And I ain't never seen a hoe that wouldn't go. And OnlyFans, they were doing that way before the pandemic. It just because that was easy money ever seen. All you needed was cameras and screens. So,
but I'm saying once the pandemic hit, you started seeing like a lot of average bitches, like just saying, "Fuck it, I'm on OnlyFans." They started seeing school teachers. School teachers started losing their job because they had an OnlyFans.
Yeah, it was the platform. That just gave them the platform to do it, but they was doing it before that.
Oh yeah. So Rose, speaking of Memphis, isn't that a form of pimping too, though? Because you know OnlyFans get the cut out of every OnlyFans. So I mean, hey, it like I said hoes and women. It's a lot of women out there that's doing this thing, but apparently they're hoes too. So they just went digital with the shit.
Man, it ain't nothing wrong with it, man. I ain't holding nothing against no paid 304, but just don't be knocking on my door.
We love these 304s, man. Hey, no,
we don't let them hoes. We don't let them.
I ain't got a problem with 304s, man. Before we move, I'm just gonna say, man, just remember what I told you, man. Christmas, their birthday, Thanksgiving.
You gotta tell them where to get the coupons from, though.
They the best time to sell pussy. If you fucking with a bitch from the bottom, you might even be able to sell some food stamps to get that pussy. But whatever you do, if you don't learn nothing else from this podcast, one thing you don't do, man, don't try to buy no pussy doing taxes.
You ain't gonna get no callbacks.
It ain't no coupon. It's like Black Friday. The day after Thanksgiving, mark it on your calendars. It's gonna be that super sale. So Christmas is that super sale. Thanksgiving is that super sale.
Where's the Prime Day though?
Whenever their birthday or their kid's birthday, that's that super sale.
Where's that hoes on Prime?
That's that super sale.
Let me know where's that hoes on Prime Day though? That hoes on Prime.
I just told you.
On Tuesday and Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. What about Fridays? Yeah. But she don't already pay the bills. Friday
going for the 40. On Friday, it's going for the 40.
She trying to go out
$40 Friday.
She trying to go out to the club, right?
Yeah, $40 Friday.
Speaking of paid 304s that and try to level up, you got Erica Mena and future baby mama. Both was expecting big, huge checks from their baby fathers. And Erica Mena, I think she's only getting 4 bands a month. And future baby mama only 5 bands a month. C's, what do you think about this? Child support in general? What's your thoughts?
Child support in America is just fucked up. So let's get a little bit of background story. So we got Erica Mena, video chick back in the day. If you want to know who she is, she was on Love and Hip Hop, all these other shows. She was in the Chris Brown video, his first video, Yo. Basically, she was with Nicki Minaj's ex, Safari. And, she trying to basically get money. She thought she was on the come up, trying to get some bands. She was like, I'm going to get $50,000 or $20,000 a month. No, bitch, you're only getting $4K or whatever. And then it's crazy how women are basically trying to come up with the league, NBA, rappers, NFL, apparently soccer too, because you heard we all talked about the dude from overseas that plays soccer, his wife or whatever, he signed everything to his mom's name. But yeah, so child support is fucked up in America, man. And it's gonna start changing, especially with Florida. Hey, Vert, you got any background about what happened with Florida's situation?
Well, Florida doing that 50-50 custody, which is going to basically affect child support. So a lot of women in Florida that was receiving like big child support checks, those checks are going to diminish because now the father's going to have 50-50 custody. There's not going to be that majority custody no more. So it's going to get to the point where child support is really going to be even hard to even do. That's what a lot of lawyers were saying with the new Florida law. Man, as far as child support goes, as far as these cases go, first of all, man, bitch, if you got 4 bands and 5 bands coming to you, hey, man, that's good money. You better get out there and get a job or something.
But she used to that high life.
I don't give a fuck what she used to,
she
man.
She high on the hug.
Hey, man, that money for the child, man. First of all, I'm going to keep it real, man. Me and MJ was talking. He here now, so, I ain't got to put words in his mouth. But I'm going to keep it real. I don't understand when motherfuckers say, man, it's for the well-being of the child, too. And you talking to someone from a single-parent household. I don't understand when people say, hey, man, the child needs somewhere to live. Bitch! You need a place for you to stay in the first motherfucking place. Like, you was going to have to buy yourself an apartment or a house. You was going to have food for yourself. So the fact that you basically say you need enough money for me so you can get a house and pay your rent, that lets me know you can't take care of your damn self. That's the first thing. Secondly, I'm gonna be real, man. Just morally, I don't understand how people can applaud these women that get these big child support checks, knowing there's some women that only get like $400-500 a month for their child. I feel like if we really want to say it's for the best interest of the child, how can you say this child is worth $400 a month and this child is worth $50,000 a month? Like, how can you say, like, to be honest, man, I feel like what they should do, all the months they pay for child support, man, it should go into like a pool, and that money should be just split evenly amongst everyone, and every child get the same. And I feel like if you do it that way, it'll stop some of these hoes. They be trying to get pregnant by some motherfuckers just so they can get a big check, and it'll help these real women out who be in these fucked up situations where they actually working 2 jobs, a 12-hour job during the weekends, doing security or working in a cash register and getting only a $250 check every 2 weeks or whatever. It'll actually help those women out, so maybe they ain't gotta work 2 jobs. I feel like if you really care about the kids, especially in America, man, you'll stop rewarding some of these women $50,000 a fucking month and say that it's to take care of their kid when you know some of these motherfucking hoes, it's only getting $500 for their kid. MGH.
Well, in this situation, we was talking about $5,000 a month. I just did the math. $5,000 a month, that's $60,000 a year after taxes. So that's straight cash that they're getting. You know, $60,000 a year is more than most people make
As a household.
as a household in this country, and you making that just off of child support. That's not you working. So if you were to work and have a job on top of that, you should be living pretty straight. $5,000, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, you be stacking, man. Rose.
Yeah, I know we already had this conversation about child support. I feel like child support is a joke, but in some cases it's needed. And in a lot of cases it's needed, but it takes the cake when people try to get over on the other partner, because when they was laying down, they weren't trying to get over. All they were doing was rolling over. So I just don't understand that. Like 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 22 years ago, you was down for this person, but now y'all on bad terms. Now you're trying to get what you can get and trying to get back at them and use your child support as a weapon. But as far as child support is needed. But it should be based on both people's income, and it should be how it's supposed to be. Like where we're going to put the child, who's the best household, where we got how much money we need to take care of this kid, and supposed to take care of the kid. How the person that has the kid uses that money, that's on them. Because if they're using it in the wrong way, then you just need to figure out how to prove it and get it right. So that's my take on it. I know we already had this conversation, but that's my take on it, man.
Yeah, child support is one of those continual conversations we always gonna have. It's always something going on with the court system. We're gonna come back to it. Something changes, but it's like the fathers that are paying child support that ask for receipts. It was like, I'm gonna pay the money. I just want to know what you're using it for. So if it's a court order, legally the court can say, or the court should say, I want to see receipts what you're using it for. So if you're using it for rent. If you're paying for child's clothes or food, let me see the receipt for it. So if we're gonna make it like a fund, like a trust fund or some type of flowing thing where she can't just, let's just say a chick that's trying to come up can't just use it and simply go like, I'm gonna buy me a new Benz. I just got this. I'm getting 50, 20,000 K. I'm gonna go buy me a brand new Benz, and the baby or the child is still getting the same. Whatever lifestyle they were living before, it's the same thing. Or they might upgrade, I don't know. But you gotta have you should be required to have some type of receipts what you're doing with the child support, because it is the federal government taking it out. Everybody's check, every man's check, every father's check, and going into like saying, hey, we're gonna give you this money.
It's not the feds, it's state by state.
State government, but is it tax free? Is it taxed? Child support tax?
Yeah, it's tax free, but it's a fee that they have to pay. It's a fee that comes out of the money that whoever's paying the child support. A fee comes, and it's not a large fee. It's a little fee, but that's if you're doing it through the system. But if you're not doing it through the system, there's just no fee, and it's not tax free, and you don't even have to claim child support on your taxes or anything like that. But you can use child support as a proof of income, though.
And it's just like if we have receipts, you can actually see like, hey, she's doing X, Y, Z, he's doing X, Y, Z. Because if you don't pay it, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get locked up. They're gonna garnish your pay. So it's like the money's gonna get there anyway. But just for the people that are trying to come up, I feel like it should be some checks and balances with that. That's where it's really fucked up.
Yeah, and that's why I know one of my homeboy mamas said back in the day. She said you better be careful who you're sleeping with. She said before you sleep with somebody, look at that person and say, do I want this person to have my child, or to be my baby father, or to be my baby mama, or whatnot? So if the answer is no, then zip it up.
Wrap it up.
And I will say, you right on that, Rose, man. A lot of these men need to be careful who they lay with. But to touch on what MJ said, I'm gonna keep it 100, man. $60,000 a year, when we know it's good jobs to pay that, like good government jobs that pay that kind of money, and you get up from child support. See, I think that's kind of the problem with some of these women, and I'm talking mostly about the ones that's fucking these rich people. Man, y'all feel like y'all get pregnant by these motherfuckers, and you just hit the lottery. You ain't never supposed to work again.
So it's like, well,
break and hit the lotto.
Like you supposed to just push out a baby and be like, I'm set for the rest of my motherfucking life.
That what your boy said, Titty. Yeah,
They said that dumbass shit, and these hoes jumped on it, man. And that's the problem, man. But then while you got these other women out here working 2 jobs and stuff, struggling and stuff that.
See, 50 trying to play both sides of the fence. He said, "Have baby by me, you be a millionaire." But what? The next song he talking about, I'm pimping. I'm a P-I-M-P. Like, nah, I'm player.
She can't get $1 out of me.
Yeah, come on,
a lot of dollars out you, nigga.
You can't play both sides of the fence now.
Hey,
But I will say this, man. To a future deal, I don't know how long this gonna last. Man, let me tell you, I ain't a big fan of your music. But nigga, I like your style. You paid yourself $30,000 a month, so that hoe could only get like 5 bands or whatever. Like you found a way to cheat the system so she couldn't get all your money. Hey, I don't know who your white lawyer is, but that white motherfucker. Because I wanted to say the 3-letter word, but you know, Juice Man told y'all last week we can't say that 3-letter word. Them people got too much.
Oh, Israeli? He was Israeli.
Y'all know where this started.
He was Israeli.
Yeah, basically.
He was a Jew. He was a black Jew.
I ain't gonna say that.
He was a black Jew. His Lord's a black Jew.
Hey, I like the way that sounds, but. Yeah, whoever that motherfucker was, bro, that taught you that little scheme, man. Hey, good for him, man. Good for him. MJ, you got any closing thoughts?
I mean, all I got to say is that scheme. I mean, it could be black folk, but I think white folk did this. I don't think a Negro came up with that. I think he just took the schemes that the white folk used and he ran with it.
Rose, any final closing thoughts, man?
No, I ain't got no more thoughts on this one, man.
Or Teasy, any final thoughts, man?
Nah, and the words of Eric B. and Rakim, man.
Hey, be careful with that shit. That scheme, it's a 3-letter organization. I ain't talking about the CIA. They gonna come for their money. So be careful, nigga. Be careful. It starts with an I, ends with an S. They coming for it. Be careful. Hey, and the final words, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. Any final words from anybody?
All I got to say is MGH. It was a pleasure to be here. Hopefully I'll be here again in the future.
And it wasn't A.B. and Rakim. Peace.
And I'm back quiet.